Let me start off first by saying that ever since this movie was first announced, I was not the least bit excited. At the time, I was loving the CW's Flash series with Grant Gustin, so when I heard DC were wanting to make their very own new cinematic version of The Flash, then whoever they get has to be better than Gustin, and well, I did not think Ezra Miller was that improvement. In fact, I thought he was one of the worst picks possible for a Barry Allen on the big screen. That, and coupled with his off-screen antics, I was expecting this film to be doomed, not even paying attention to it myself. But then they ended up reeling me in when the news first got out that Michael Keaton's Batman 1989 would be appearing in the movie. And more than just a simple cameo, mind you. So, like plenty others, this made me curious for the Flash movie, and the more I saw of Keaton's Batman, it actually made me want to see it. Crazy, I know. Well, not only that, but also because this was to be Ben Affleck's final portrayal as Batman too. And seeing as he's one of my favorite live-action Batmans, then yeah, I ended up watching The Flash. But of course more so for the Bat, not the main star of the show. And well, to my surprise, I gotta say, it's a pretty good superhero flick. Now, granted, I went into it with super low expectations, so maybe that played into the movie's favor, but yeah, I did generally end up enjoying it a lot. And sure, while it was great to see Batfleck one last time, as well even better Keaton suiting up as the Batman, especially him even showing some Arkham Knight style combat fighting that we've only previously seen from Batfleck. But I definitely have to admit that what really surprised me the most was Ezra Miller. I actually think he did a great job here, considering he plays two different versions of Barry Allen. I thought he did well. I mean, sure, the younger Barry Allen can get annoying rather quickly, but that's kinda the point in his character to be like that. To contrast him from the older, more serious Barry, and it's funny to see Barry even realize and acknowledge of how annoying he can be. Not gonna say they were my favorite things of the movie, that obviously goes towards the Batman here, but they were rather good, better than expected, which is saying a lot. There's also Supergirl here instead of Superman, and while I thought she was fine, let's just say I expected more from her in this movie, but I think she did the most she could with what she was given to work with. Now, if you know all about Flashpoint, either by reading the comics or watching the animated movie about it, then you already get the general gist of this film, but I did appreciate how DC tried to change things around here by keeping things fresh. Although at the same time, I can't say I was the biggest fan with their version of Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash. I mean, sure, it works, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. Aside from that, there's plenty of eye candy and action to be seen here, so if you're just looking for that alone, then I don't think you'll be left disappointed. Yeah, the CGI is a tad bit rough around the edges in some parts, but honestly, I didn't even notice too much of it unless you're really looking for that. Overall, I think The Flash is the best live-action superhero flick to have come out this year so far. And trust me, had you told me this like 6 years ago, not only would I had not believed you, I wouldn't believe that I myself would be saying this. But no, The Flash indeed does have emotion, heart, great action, fun cameos, and a heck ton of nostalgia. Which admittedly brought me in, but it was everything else that won me over. And that's my take on The Flash. If you've seen the movie yourself, then let me know in the comments below if you liked, disliked it, or were somewhere in between, as I'm interested to hear where everyone stands on this movie. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel for movies, TV reviews, plus gaming and other entertainment content. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.